broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Let's just enjoy this. It's a little quieter than I'd like it, but it's still there.
Coming in with Macho Man.
No, we're not. That's a different Macho Man.
Oh.
This is Pomp and Circumstance, the theme song for the legendary Macho Man Randy Savage, who's going to be the first inductee to the 2015 Hall of Fame.
So
This is
it's different.
Yes, not the Village People. Although all due respect to the Village People, I know that's your jam.
Yeah.
This is the Macho Man. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Raw After Show and AfterBuzz TV. Yes, this is the second week in a row with a brand new set. It's only 3 of us tonight, and let's just say right off the bat, Macho Man Randy Savage, legend. We love you, and man, I wish he was here for it.
Oh, I know.
You know, but he's not. It's a little late, but at least he's going into the Hall of Fame, and I know they're going to have an amazing tribute to him, and Hulk Hogan's going to give him a wonderful induction. And
did they say why they announced it in this way? Because this is atypical of how they. I feel like they.
Dale, you brought up a good point as a possibility as to why.
Yeah, I mean, TMZ broke it, so I wonder if, but they were saying, like, expected.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they were trying to, like, make it, like, a more of a new media buzz about thing.
Every year, though, I feel like dirt sheets tell you who's going to get inducted before they actually announce it, you know?
Yeah, it's true. I mean, to me, I always think of the Jake the Snake moment last year when we all lost our S.
Oh, when he actually showed up and
put the snake on Ambrose and all that, and then having him at the Hall of Fame. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're doing it differently for some reason. I don't know.
I mean, I just think with Macho Man, and don't get me wrong, Jake the Snake is arguably my favorite of all time. But with Macho Man, I just think he touched so many people throughout his career, and even to this day, he was also he is who he was. It wasn't like he was a character. That literally was how he sounded. It was how he talked.
Yeah,
he was very intense, and he just left such a lasting legacy way after his career ended. I mean, to this day, who's more quotable than him? You know what I mean? Like, he still has the most charismatic promos you'll ever see in your life.
Even outside the world of wrestling, I think he touched so many different people through pop culture and
Spider-Man too.
People who weren't wrestling fans knew who he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how quotable he was. And that's how entertaining he was to do promos.
Yeah.
To watch promos with.
Like Slim Jim enthusiasts.
Thank you.
Slim Jim enthusiasts.
I forgot about that. That was a major. No, that was a major campaign.
No, what? I mean, it lasted for a decade or something.
Think about how many thousands of people saw those Slim Jim commercials, had no idea who Macho Man was, then knew who Macho Man was, and then started yelling "Snap into a Slim Jim."
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't grow up watching wrestling, but I knew who he was.
There you go.
So, point proven.
Proof in the pudding.
So yeah, kudos to Macho Man Randy Savage. It's going to be an honor to see that. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, Hogan couldn't be a better. You can't pick a better guy to induct him.
Yeah, and Hogan did say that they did make up shortly before Randy died. They hung out a few times. They had plans to do like a barbecue, he said, and unfortunately, that's when right around the time Randy passed away. But they did make amends. Thank God for that. And even Hogan said, he's like, thank God we made amends, because I would, same thing with the Warrior. He's like, I would hate to have bad blood, before they passed away. So it's going to be incredible to watch, and we could talk about Randy for a whole hour if we wanted to, but that's all we got, guys. We have just an hour to get through Raw, and it seemed like, God, there was a lot of random stuff to talk about, so we're going to have to zip through a bunch of it. Raw in New Orleans, that brings back memories for all of us. WrestleMania 30.
I wasn't there.
I know you weren't there, but you watched it.
Yeah.
Okay.
On the television in Los Angeles.
You got text messages from Dale and I all weekend while we were...
It's true.
Yeah.
Johnny caught Cena's...
Almost like I was there. But not.
But this year, you're going for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So, there you go. And I caught Cena's T-shirt at the Raw afterwards and gave it to Batista's nephew, who was sitting in front of me. Didn't even know.
Afterwards, it was like, oh, but he probably could have got his own shirt.
Well, here's the thing. It's a cute little kid sitting in front of me.
Batista shirts. He's like,
Yeah.
I don't want any more of these.
Actually, his mom said that. She goes, actually, I know you think he probably has everything, but all he has is Batista stuff. And I'm like, well, then there you go, kid. Enjoy that Cena tee.
At Christmas, he's just like, Uncle Batista, why you gotta give me another shirt?
It's equivalent to Cole at this point.
Is, at one point I asked him, because him and I were talking through, I go, hey man, are you tired of people booing your uncle? He goes, nah. He really didn't care. He was just entertained by the whole thing. So anyway, let's get to it, guys. John Cena hits the ring. He says the Authority won't get him down. He trashes Triple H, trashes Steph, said nobody deserved to be fired, and that he wants to see them all here tonight. He's going to face Brock Lesnar, beat him in 2 weeks. Hashtag Authority sucks. Authority hits the ring. They got right back in his face and said, they found a way back in, and the Authority always wins. And they didn't want to fire those guys last week, but unlike Cena, they keep their promises. And Triple H asked the whole universe, hey, do you want all these guys back? I'll keep it simple. It's a one-on-one match tonight. John Cena, Seth Rollins in a lumberjack match. Starting right now, Dale.
I love this. They always find a way to paint themselves as not the bad guy in the most bad guy way possible.
Yep.
It's brilliant. I really love the way that they angle everything. And then, of course, all the lumberjacks that they brought out were heels.
Yeah,
when they said it was going to be a lumberjack, I got really excited because I thought we were going to see guys that we don't get to see often come out.
Well, Justin Gabriel.
I see him on NXT all the time.
Oh, that's true. We saw Dango. New and improved.
Although I do have to mention, during this match, it really looked like when Cena jumped from the top rope onto all those guys, it looked like Fandango injured his knee, and I couldn't tell whether he was just
selling real hard.
I hope
his
not.
knee. But I mean,
seemed like a weird time to
Why
sell
would
a knee.
Fandango be
he
selling?
mouthed the F word,
Yeah.
rolled out of the way, and then he was the last to get back up to the ring after everyone else was already surrounding it, and he was limping still.
Yeah, he continued to limp for a
I
while.
hope he's not hurt.
Yeah.
That would be a crappy way to get hurt.
Oh, no,
Just being in the pile.
I know.
Exactly. I mean...
Yeah.
But, I mean, you just twist one wrong way and...
But Cena going on, you don't see Cena go to the mezzanine very often. It was nice to see him jump off that top
Yeah.
rope.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He had like 9 guys to catch him, but it was pretty good.
A lot of guys. I want to do that at one point, like crowd surf,
That would be fun. I would
doing
do that.
something. Well, if we do that comedy show at WrestleMania weekend, I'm just going to jump and not tell anyone.
You gotta be
no, you gotta
comfortable
tell
with people
people.
touching
Oh,
your
is that how
butt,
it
though,
works?
because that's like where people like crowd surfing. It's
Kathy,
like,
people always trying to touch his ass. So, I mean, what else?
Wow.
dead ass.
That ass. With your fine ass. So that happens. Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Rollins in control, of course. The bad guy lumberjacks keep beating Cena up, but he keeps pulling out all the stops.
Cesaro swung him into the barrier, which is great.
Yeah. Cesaro, that was that was his moment for the night, but it was a lasting moment, that's for sure.
That and Big Show.
So that's the thing. So Cena fights his way back in the ring. Cesaro swinging to the barricade. Cena locks in the STF. Kane drags Rollins to the ropes. Next thing you know, Cena's outside. WMD from Big Show. They roll him in. Rollins for the win. No one's getting their job back. Meanwhile, Ziggler's live tweeting the national championship game.
I mean, he doesn't often get Monday off, so I'm sure he's very excited.
Yeah.
He was clearly watching the game, or still is. The game's going on right now as we speak. So thoughts, gang, on Rollins obviously wins, and so the jobs are still not saved. They're still fired 13 days away from the Royal Rumble.
I thought they would be back very quickly, and that doesn't seem to be the case, but I'd assume they'd be back by Royal Rumble, right?
I feel like
Gotta be, right?
after seeing him lose and not coming back tonight, I feel like, are they saving him to bring them back inside the Rumble?
Yeah.
If so,
There's gotta be a story
why?
behind it,
Yeah,
though.
there has to be a reason, which I just can't figure out yet.
Considering everything's coming up Authority, I don't know how you could so quickly make something weird happen to where they have to have their jobs back in, what do you got? You got SmackDown and Raw and SmackDown and then the Rumble.
I mean, why? I feel like Ryback, when he came back, had a huge push, so why kind of
As does Ziggler.
stop that?
Oh, no, it's not stopped. Trust me, they're going to come back bigger and better.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't see why Vince would bring them back. There's nobody that can really usurp the authority except for Vince.
Is there going to be the stipulation every week, like, oh, well, you can bring them back if...
That'd be weird.
it doesn't work more than once.
It wouldn't surprise me to see Vince show up at the Raw before the Rumble. Right?
Yeah, no, I mean, that's all I can figure out.
Or
really.
what if we have like a new version NWO with Ziggler as the leader, and then you have the two behemoths behind him? Those three together would be pretty entertaining. I don't know. We're just spitballing here.
Yeah.
But they have to be backed by the Rumble for something. Whether or not they just run in, well, that would make no sense because then technically they're not even in the Rumble, so I'm not sure what exactly is going on.
Yeah, I just can't figure it out.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think? Moving on, Steph backstage with the Usos and Dean Ambrose. Steph says, look, I'm not going to punish you guys. You're fine. Oh, by the way, Naomi's got one hand tied behind her back. Good luck. Then she talks to Dean and says, you checked yourself out of the hospital, which is, never a good thing. That's called AMA in the healthcare world. That's against medical advice. That's when you walk out.
American Music Awards?
Very close, yes.
Oh.
That's when you just walk out with your gown. You're flowing
I like
over.
Braves.
Yeah.
It's good. AMA.
It is AMA. That's what they say.
LOL.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, walked out of the hospital. We got to make sure you're mentally stable enough. Here's a doctor with really big muscles who's going to take you through some tests. And by the time the night is over, we'll find out if you're medically stable enough to compete in the Royal Rumble.
Dale and I both turned to each other. We're like, he doesn't look like a doctor.
The doctor he's staying in shape.
It's possible. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's in better shape than Dr. Shelby. That's for sure.
Exactly.
He cares about his health.
Yeah.
You have to if you're a doctor, right? Then again, I know a ton of doctors who smoke. Moving on. Next, Miz and Mizdow cut a promo on the Golden Globes, giving congratulations to George Clooney and saying, eventually, Clooney, you might actually get your own Slammy, because that's the pinnacle.
Their buddy, Clooney.
Boom.
FWG. Or Friends with George, wasn't that what it was?
I think that's what it is, yeah. Friend of George, FOW.
Oh, yeah.
That FOW doesn't work that way.
That would have to be a G.
Wait, FOG?
Fog.
Friends with Warge.
Yeah. My sinuses are acting up. I'm a little clogged in the noggin this weekend. Yeah.
Bob, it's a bilk.
Next, we go back to Doctor and Dean. Dean's on the couch. He says, sit back and relax. I want to know what makes your clock tick. And then Dean just gets mesmerized by a ticking clock as we go to commercial.
That was a very weird moment, which I thought that they were going to do something with later.
Yeah,
They
I thought
didn't.
Was that a reference to something that I just didn't get?
The only thing I could think of was Captain Hook, but that has nothing to do with wrestling.
I also thought Disney. I thought Alice in Wonderland with the rabbit and the...
They did say something about Alice in Wonderland later, but I think that was Bray.
I just think maybe he... Yeah, that's just... Maybe he's just annoyed by a ticking clock.
I
don't like it. I don't like ticking clocks.
No,
I'll
yeah.
knock that shit off the table.
Who has clocks anymore? Doesn't everyone just have a phone?
Right.
Get with the times already.
2015. Come on.
Speaking of new days, Xavier and Kofi
Segway alert.
taking on the Masters of the Universe. I know no one's calling them that. I am. Don't care. Kid and Cesaro, they take control early. Real quick here, Adam Rose goes for a distraction on Xavier Woods. Big E clears him and his big green coat out of the way. And then the cool combo finisher for the W. New Day taking out Kid and Cesaro. Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Johnny. Was Adam Rose out there just to make us hate Cesaro Kid more? Do you think?
Well, they did a six-man, I want to say, on SmackDown or at some point last week together.
Yeah, and they were part of the Rosebuds, but it just I don't really understand the connection between the three of them.
Well, do we ever understand Adam Rose, though?
No, that's a fair
So
point.
why are we really...
We did when he was on NXT.
To a certain extent.
There was an awesome flip into a clothesline from Xavier Woods in this match that was just phenomenal. Like, totally athletic, great move. And maybe this is what New Day needs. We've been saying that New Day needs something to kind of get the fire going for the crowd. And the crowd was a lot better tonight than previously for New Day.
They were funny in the Macho Man impersonations. But the three of them together have been funny for such a long time.
Yeah.
I really want the crowd to get behind them. I don't know, people are cynical. I don't know what to expect.
Well, we said it last week. They're going over really well at the live shows, and it's just, for whatever reason, that's not translating to TV or the tapings
I
yet.
don't know what it is, man. All three of them, they're all their individual skill sets are all very different. Their personalities are all very different, but they all mesh so well.
Yeah.
Their music's fantastic.
I'm always a sucker for a double finish from a tag team as well.
Which Kid and Cesaro have a great one as well.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. And so do the Ascension. Let's move on.
The Fall Man actually is pretty dope, but
Just not. So the Big Show hits the ring. He takes the mic and says, things come easy when you're a giant, except buying strip malls, as we found out last year.
Or shopping for suits, I imagine.
Yeah.
Or killing Jack.
That's true. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. He says that everyone here is on the low end of the gene pool. Nobody has jobs, and Roman Reigns is a loser. And if you like Roman Reigns, you're just like the Knicks. You're a bunch of losers. The Knicks are actually really horrible. They have the worst record in the NBA, but that's beside the point. I know, Dale, you're a big fan.
Yeah.
So Reigns comes out. He looks mad and greasy. Big Show takes off. He hits the mic, and he tells quite a long story, and he says, when you beat Hogan for that championship, I was only 12 years old, which...
Snap.
That was funny.
I kind of liked that.
Yeah.
That was quite a long time ago.
It is interesting that with Reigns, I feel like they're giving him... I don't know who's writing his lines. I presume not him.
No.
But they're giving him very odd, outdated references. This Jack and the Beanstalk thing from this evening. He did the Superman pew situation. Was it last week only? It's very strange, but he is showing a lot more personality than he ever did in previously with the Shield. So I like that he's loosening up. Like maybe he's just becoming more comfortable or whatever. But I just wish it was better stuff he was saying.
I feel like with him, it's the less is more thing. Almost like with
the Ascension.
Right. Here's the problem though. How are you going to elevate a dude to the top if he doesn't talk? It's like you kind of.
He has to.
I guess.
You don't think he feels more comfortable?
No. I mean, he's obviously talking more.
Yeah.
But I still think he's not quite. It's almost like when Rusev and Lana debuted. The first month or so, you could tell Lana was really just kind of sticking to what she was supposed to do.
Right.
But now she let her natural instincts take over, and she just has a blast. Like what she said tonight, making fun of Ryback's Deli, and
Right. That was great.
So she's really just taken off. And I think Rusev does a great job with the mic. I'd like to see Roman Reigns get to that point. Just I don't know. He's trying to be cool. I'm not quite sure what it is. He doesn't have to be cool. He's got stage presence.
Yeah.
So
I agree. He doesn't have to try so hard, but I like that he is trying.
yeah, sure. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Anyways, he's gonna knock Big Show in the mouth. Luke Harper's music hits. Boom. We got Harper versus Roman Reigns. Harper right from the start, sending him into the steps. Tries to wear him down with the headlock. Big Show is just enjoying himself watching. Eventually, Reigns makes the comeback. Show takes his chair, just tosses him right into the stairs. Distracts Reigns. Boom. Doesn't work. Superman punch. Show tries to distract him. Boots him off. Big spear for the win. Next thing you know, another WMD from Big Show. Bam. And he's knocked out. Big Show stands tall, walks out of that arena.
I think you said it.
Okay. Any thoughts?
I mean,
I mean,
presumably they're both in the Rumble. So all these feuds that are happening right now, I'm a little confused as to when they're going to culminate. Like Rusev, Ryback, who is currently fired. This Reigns, Big Show, it's kind of gone undecided a couple times, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel so, but they're not going to culminate at the Rumble because Reigns is definitely in the Rumble. I presume Big Show is too. So I just don't know when we're going to get these big matches that we're building towards.
what about you? What do you think? Are there any matches that you think are definitely going to be made? Because right now we have the Rumble, we have the championship match, but otherwise they're teasing certain matches. Like they teased Ryback Rusev. Are there any matches you think are definitely going to happen besides the Rumble? I can't really. It's hard to pick right now.
Right now, yeah.
Show and Reigns, they got to be in the Rumble, right?
I mean, we were talking about how it doesn't seem like it'd be weird to have Daniel Bryan in the Rumble.
No, he isn't now.
But yeah. I don't know.
I feel like this Rumble is going to set up a lot of, they say it's the beginning of the road. Obviously, this Rumble is going to set up a lot of stuff going to WrestleMania. But like you said, the Rumble takes at least an hour.
Yeah.
Championship match will take a while. But you got to have at least a few other matches in there.
Yeah, you got to give a break from the other big stuff. And I mean, we could have a Divas match, I
That's
suppose,
a guarantee.
but,
Yeah.
Divas title match, maybe triple threat, fatal four-way.
I just don't like when people double duty on Royal Rumble night. I want them either in, don't.
Although I feel like Daniel Bryan is the king of that. Like
Ziggler was
doing two
technically the
matches
king
a
of
night.
it for a while.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
where he did several pay-per-views where he had 2 matches,
Yeah.
which is pretty dope.
So I have to admit that I haven't been listening for the last 3 minutes because I just got invited to the resurrection of Jake the Snake.
What?
It's a documentary that's going to premiere at Slam Dance 2015.
Whoa. When and where?
I was trying to read the email. It's really fine print.
Why is it so tiny?
Apparently Friday, January 23rd. So this film is Sorry, this isn't Raw related, but
Kind of is.
yeah. So it's featuring Jake the Snake, Diamond Dallas Page, Scott Hall, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Ted DiBiase, Gene Okerlund, Jim Jim Ross, and a couple other people.
And I think we saw.
Is that at Sundance? Is that why it's called Slam Dance?
Slam
like a
Dance,
pre Sundance or something?
Yeah.
No,
I think-
Slam Dance is a whole separate festival.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Is it still?
It's an indie film festival, obviously not at the Sundance level, but it's popular. And I think we saw a lot of this already because Diamond Dallas Page was chronicling Jake the Snake's recovery while living with him. A lot of it was on YouTube, so I imagine it's going to be just a 90-minute version of that.
Yeah.
But hey, that's
Directed
fantastic.
by Steve Yu.
Okay.
So
Cool.
There you go. Are you going? You should.
I don't know where it is.
We'll figure it out eventually. Miz and Mizdow once again giving a shout out to the movie Boyhood. Now, I'm not going to go up much on this. That movie's 3 hours long, and it felt like it took 12 hours to watch. At least. Maybe 12 years. I don't know.
I liked his setup to it, though. I mean, this was just a way to say that he was being creepy and recording Miz's life.
Which was great.
For manhood.
Mizdow says cameras have been set up in the Miz's place for the past 6 months, chronicling every move. And eventually it's going to come out to a theater near you called Manhood.
Lots of staring in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically exclusively that and several showers. I think this was the first time we've heard Mizdow talk since he's been Mizdow, though. Or one of the few times.
Which
One of the few
means
times.
we're eventually going to build up to something nice, I think.
Yeah.
Ideally. Now, those two in the Rumble, that's going to be entertaining. Because I think...
Mizdow has to eliminate The Miz. He just has to.
Well, I was going to say, Mizdow might be the first person to eliminate himself since Pete Rose. Maybe.
Oh, if Miz gets eliminated first, he has to throw himself over the ropes.
Possibly.
That would be funny.
That would be funny. Or what if he does it but then still lands on the apron and then just goes back in?
Or he accidentally eliminates The Miz, and then he just stands there and he's like, oh. And then he has to go
And then
over
throws
to-
himself out?
Yeah. It's got to be leading to something because they don't have the title anymore.
Right.
And what better way to hit WrestleMania than people, just everyone behind Mizdow?
Yeah.
Just a sea of Mizdow everywhere. And that's a great way to get tons of heat on The Miz.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That'd be cool. That's another thing to look forward to at the Rumble for sure. Naomi versus Alicia Fox. Naomi with that hand tied behind her back. Naomi keeps fighting and fighting and fighting, but Alicia eventually hits the leg kick for the win. Don't exactly know what's going on there.
I like that Fox smiled at the camera when she did the pin.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of like a nice little move.
She cray.
Yeah. I want to see Naomi. I mean, there's always been that rumor that you can't have the title when you're on Total Divas. So now that she is technically not a cast member anymore, her get into that picture.
Not by the Rumble.
Which,
know.
I mean, Nikki has the title and is on the show, so I feel like that rumor has to
know.
die. But Naomi should win it. This is her year to win that title. That's my prediction.
You would think so. I mean, but right now, I mean, I'm sorry, it wasn't Pete Rose that eliminated. It was Drew Carey.
Drew Carey, yeah. Pete
You know
Rose
what?
was always king.
Very similar in stature, both very pale, middle-aged.
Didn't belong in a ring
So that's a fair mistake on my end. Pete Rose was tombstoned by Kane.
several times.
Several times?
A few different years, Pete Rose. Yeah, he was in that chicken outfit one year. And
How about it? Pete Rose, well, that's a heel right there. Classic heel. Betting on his own team.
I mean, come on.
All right, back to Dean Ambrose with the doc. Thursday, guys. So basically, we did some word association here. The doc presented some pictures, and Dean Ambrose gave the first word that came to his mind. So let's relive some of this. Triple H.
Irritable bowel syndrome.
Fair enough. Seth Rollins.
Scumbag.
Gross. Roman Reigns.
Brother.
Kane.
Toothpaste.
Dr. Isaac Yankem reference.
Holla back.
I love how I showed you a picture of him as Dr. Isaac Yankem. You're like, that's Kane?
That's not what I said.
That's what you
I said
said.
his hair.
Is that a wig?
Oh, well, close enough. But it was
Very
still
different sentence, but sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Same freaking thing. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Ho!
Stephanie McMahon.
Ho!
Got it. Good word association.
I loved it.
It was
And it got the crowd behind it later when Stephanie came out. They couldn't stop hoeing.
I mean, it's a fun thing to do.
It is a fun thing.
Hacksaw's been doing it for 30 years. People are still doing it. You know? Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman hit the ring. He, of course, is the WWE undisputed champion. 282 days ago, he defeated the Undertaker streak. He's the only person to be a collegiate champion, a UFC champion, and WWE champion. That is ridiculous.
It's weird seeing the belt now.
It to their benefit, I guess. It does feel like a special thing to have the belt on Raw.
Right.
Is that good? I guess it is. I mean, it does event-tize it.
I think they even said on commentary, they're like, he's gracing us with his presence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's really amazing, though, his accolades. It's safe to say I really don't know if anyone ever again in history will be able to do all three of those.
No.
Not easy to be a collegiate champion, even harder to be a UFC champion, and then to transcend yourself into the WWE, which he did 10 years ago, winning the title. But damn. That's like people talk about Bo Jackson being the greatest athlete of all time, which he very well may be because he was a pro in two sports. Brock Lesnar, you really got to put him up there with some of the greatest athletes of all time to do what he does.
I think Kurt Angle is kind of in that category. It's not three different things, but, well, it is if you count TNA.
Well, he didn't do UFC.
No, but to win a gold medal, I just feel like it's pretty crazy when you can have these amazing accolades. Yeah.
And Angle was very established in college as well. Mm-hmm. It's so impressive to think about. Then Paul Heyman makes fun of Then, Now, Forever, and tonight he will explain to his opponents the reality, face to face, to curb stomping face. Moving on, more superstars impersonating Macho Man. Miz and Mizdow, Usos, Jey Uso versus The Miz. Who doesn't love a tug of war at Mizdow?
That was pretty fun.
I mean, come on now. A little bit of a distraction. Miz, skull-crushing finale for the win. Once again, I think these are two teams that are just going to kind of maybe eliminate each other in the Rumble, perhaps. But then again, do you think we'll have a tag team title defense?
We very well could.
With who, though? Obviously, the Usos versus Miz and Mizdow?
The guys that faced the Ascension today.
Oh, dear God.
The Cajun Asian?
Yeah. He's Asian, not Cajun. I cannot wait to ask Booker about that.
Oh, my goodness.
On Compadres.
That's a good quote.
That's a good. I feel like we need the Mizdows in the Rumble, though. It's too entertaining.
Me too. I feel like...
Will they double dip?
It's possible. But I feel like they have to be in there. Something weird has to happen, and they're one of the few right now with a relationship that would really come off strong in that situation.
Because the Rumble always needs a little bit of humor, and they would be the ones. You think we'll get some surprises, like some people from the past?
Always.
Got to, right?
Isn't that what they do?
A stupid question. They say there are no things as stupid questions, but that one...
But that's kind of up there, yeah.
Cathy Kelley, everybody.
We only have an hour, but we have plenty of time to make fun of you.
Yeah. What happened on the show is they just made fun of her for 57 minutes and then said, tune in next week. Moving on, Daniel Bryan hits the ring. He says, something's familiar about this city that I'm in right now, about New Orleans, and it's the greatest moment of my career, and he's going to win the Royal Rumble. Stephanie comes out, looking good, all black everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Including her soul.
Lady. Oh. Her heart. Oh, yeah.
Very dark soul.
Heart and soul.
Heart and soul.
Is that a song?
You never played Heart and Soul on the piano?
Who are you?
Jeez.
Is that a song from the movie Big, where he's doing the...
It's an actual song, but yes, it is in the movie Big.
It's called Heart and Soul?
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
But those notes are actually the words Heart and Soul. Anyways.
Are there lyrics to it? Like, did a band do this? Like, did Air Supply do it, or was it just like a regular piano song?
Mainly Air Supply. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, mainly Air Supply.
Air Supply.
It's amazing you guessed that right off the bat.
Well, I mean, I know me some Air Supply.
Do you?
No, not. Just any 80s wuss band, I just think of Air Supply.
1 hour show.
All right. Steph comes out holding that workout DVD and says, Daniel Bryan, you can do this DVD depending on what level of conditioning you're at. Which was funny. Mm-hmm. She replays Kane tombstoning him. Tombstoning?
Yep.
Yeah, that sounded right. Yeah. 93 times and calls him an average Joe and says his future kids will be unborn box troll children. Do you really want to do it all over again, Daniel? And what was his response, guys?
Yep.
Kathy.
I forgot. No.
It's been so long.
It has been. It has been a long time. So everyone starts yesing, and he says, that might be a better workout than that DVD of yours.
Hi-yo.
Get it on VHS, too.
It is a good arm workout.
It does. It makes you tired after.
Really gets those triceps going. A little bit of shoulder action.
Oh, yeah.
Are you pouring yourself some more Go Girl? Look at you, man. You're getting amped up.
What? No. We can't say the brand on it.
We can? We talk about it all the time.
That's why we have cups.
Yeah, it's AFTERBUZZ
so that you
juice.
don't have the brand.
Well, I call water Go Girl. You know what I mean? That's my nickname for water. I like to spice things up a little bit.
Have you ever Googled Go Girl, by the way?
Nope.
You should do it.
I don't know if I
You
want
should
to.
do it.
Okay.
That's all.
Got it. So anyway, Steph says his first match back is going to be against someone he knows very well on SmackDown, which is on what day of the week?
Thursdays.
Yes.
Perfectly done. What a team we are. Kane comes down. Daniel Bryan attacks. Kane sends him into the steps. Goes for the tombstone. Daniel Bryan reverses. Gets him against the barricade. Flying knee. Boom. Then he does the move through the second rope. Daniel Bryan stands tall. And he Thursdays it up.
Thursdays.
Yep.
Thursdays.
Can we talk about the 3 tombstones that we saw from months and months ago and how I forgot
How bad they were?
they were brutal.
Cringeworthy.
Yeah. I mean, that third one, especially on the announcer's table.
I mean, I like that they sell that as the reason why, that he was missing,
boy.
but it very well could have been if we didn't know otherwise. I just Tombstones always make me a little like...
Tombstones, any pile driver freaks me out. We had one yesterday at the Championship Wrestling taping, and it actually, the guy, it hit his head. Like afterwards I asked him, because I was calling it, and it looked scary, but I was like, they're really good at selling whatever. Yeah. And I go, dude, how was that? He goes, oh, it hit me. He's like, I didn't feel any nervousness or anything down my arms, but like it was a solid bump on the neck, and I was like, God.
It's like AJ Styles with the Styles Clash. I mean, he just broke Yoshitatsu's neck.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that puts you in that position to have your head go into your spine.
And AJ's great at it. It kind of went both ways there, but yeah, it's a
sure.
very dangerous move, man.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, a pile driver, you think about it, it's even more dangerous. At least on a tombstone, you're only going to your knees. You do a pile driver, you're just planting your butt in the ground.
Yeah.
Scary. But yes, so that sent Daniel Bryan out, so we can't wait to see him at the Rumble. What number do you think he's drawing? Got to be 30, right? No, that's too obvious.
Nah. Near the end, but not the end.
Yeah.
20-something.
Yeah, they're not putting him at number 1. That's a bit of a workout.
No. Is Rey Mysterio coming back?
What if he did?
He might be early.
Dressed as CM Punk. No.
He did always have good costumes.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that's for sure. Seth is backstage with J&J gloating about Cena getting beat up, and then you turn around and Brock Lesnar staring you in the face. That's a mean face to be looking at you. And I like how Lesnar was talking. Got in his face and says, you know what, you're a weasel. Seth calls himself the future. Yeah. He says the future starts when I say it starts.
I like that Rollins didn't back down.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was going to get scared when Brock came into the picture, and he didn't.
I like that a lot. I think that segment and the segment at the end really built Rollins strong tonight.
Sure did.
And he needs some more of that.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt about that. Heyman calms him down. Contract signing coming up in a little bit. Moving on, Paige versus Brie Bella. Tyson Kidd, I don't know what the hell he was doing. He decided to go through the second rope while Paige was pinning Brie. Distraction. Brie gets a roll up for the win. Paige smacks Tyson and Natty looks happy. What in the hell? I know last week we talked about how the Divas division makes absolutely no sense. So this is right on par.
Is that what we said? Oh, no.
Yeah, we did.
We said it was Total Divas related.
Well, for me, that makes no sense.
This particular storyline has been brewing for a while, like a weirdness between Tyson Kidd and Natty. He's been taking all her glory lately. I don't see how this relates. I guess Natty and Paige are friends now. They haven't really said too much about that.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why he would distract. It was also Bella positive again. Is there something there? Like, remember when he caught, was it Nikki that he caught in his arms, kind of romantically? So I can't figure out what's going on between the Bellas, Natty, and Kidd.
I used to give them so much credit because I felt like Natty and Tyson Kidd's storyline was the only one that really transcended Total Divas, NXT, and the main roster shows so well. Like, it all made sense at the same time, and now I'm just left confused after
and
things like tonight.
This particular segment isn't even Total Divas related because Tyson Kidd hasn't been on the show yet this season because they're taking time apart from each other. And I don't really understand why Paige would be involved, really.
What's most disappointing to me is there's absolutely no rivalry for the title right now at all. And the Rumble's in less than 2 weeks. So there's going to be a Divas title match, but is anyone going to care? Well,
Paige pinned Nikki on Main Event.
All right.
Or one of those shows.
Sure.
It seems like it's all leading to Paige, but it's not the best built program that we've seen for the Divas.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's disappointing. I mean, the Royal Rumble, granted, it's not WrestleMania, but I would like to see every title have a purpose.
I said this last week too, but it feels like since the week before Christmas and now, up until tonight, maybe through Royal Rumble, it doesn't really seem like they know where they're going with any of the titles.
No. Well, Rusev, it's pretty clear.
Oh, well, yeah.
Full speed ahead.
Right. I feel like this is always kind of the off period, from Survivor Series to Royal Rumble. It's always a little wonky because
coming off of so many pay-per-views back to back to back, and then having that break where...
And knowing that the road to WrestleMania is looming, I think they're writing a lot of stuff for next month rather than focusing on right now.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to have this kind of weird, I don't know.
Transitional period.
Exactly, yeah.
I almost feel like the Divas division is going to have either some surprise return or some debut from NXT just to spice things up. And unless they find a way to get a real rivalry going between now and WrestleMania.
They can't do that, though. They have so many girls on the main roster, and they have...
Like who? Obviously, we got...
It won't be a surprise from Karma because she just re-signed with TNA.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
That was fun to see.
I was surprised by that.
We love ourselves some Kia.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I heard a rumor about somebody, but now I can't remember.
Let's see. We got the Bellas. You got Natty, Alicia Fox, Paige,
Naomi,
Emma, Summer Rae, Naomi,
Cameron.
But they're not... There's no real story around any of them.
Naomi is getting the best story right in this very moment. Now, how that leads to the title, I don't know.
But Nikki's still champion, and
that's where I feel like the Divas division, it kind of lost all of us, was when Brie forgave Nikki with no
comeuppance.
There was no reason behind that.
Thank you.
Threw everything off because there were solid storylines that made sense. We had two storylines. It was the Bella twins, and then we also had the whole Paige versus AJ thing going on at the same time. And then that happened, and it seemed like they don't know where to go from there.
Unless they're just stalling to have a Bella versus Bella WrestleMania.
But then they would have planted a couple seeds here and there,
When was the last time we got a clean Diva versus Diva match at WrestleMania? It's usually everybody versus everybody, or a 6-on-6, or
possibly when
it's been a while.
Stratus and Lita were still around. I don't know. It's probably been quite a while.
Anyways,
yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Yep, Bray cuts a promo. Bray Wyatt, of course, on the Royal Rumble. He gonna win. That's pretty much what he said. And it's time now to announce, which we already talked about, the first inductee into the 2015 Hall of Fame. It's going to be Macho Man Randy Savage, inducted by Hulk Hogan. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That's all I got. Dig it! Not the best. I'm going to work on it.
That's all right.
Dig it. That's worse. That's
you
worse.
got until WrestleMania.
Dig it!
I kind of like that. You're on the right track. Keep it going. At this point, as far as the rest of the Hall of Fame class, it's gravy from here on out.
It is quite a crown.
Can you imagine how amazing it would be to hear Macho Man give his Hall of Fame speech? Damn it.
Nope.
Who else do you think they'll induct this year?
There's so many people they could induct. Look at how many amazing wrestlers there were over the years between, going back to AWA and before that, and WWE, WCW, ECW. Good Lord, who knows?
It's always hard to predict.
Yeah, it really there's a lot of what have yous with who gets into the Hall of Fame.
And there's so much politicking going on with it too.
Of course,
this is why Macho Man is just now going in now, because there was always issues previously. But
yeah,
we shall see.
I thought it was really fun going from an amazing moment like Macho Man being inducted into the Hall of Fame to the Ascension.
Yeah.
That shows you how much they want you to care about the Ascension, though. To book them right after their big announcement for the night, although I guess kind of a weird announcement since it was expected all night, quote unquote.
Maybe they're trying to subconsciously make you associate them with the guys of the past.
It is another old school nod. Their entire character is about being old school.
I just don't like it.
I just don't like it either.
Well, they do say that they're better than everybody in their little promo.
Thank God they didn't say the Mega Powers. I thought for sure
Me too.
they were going to say the Mega Powers in that particular promo.
I do think that it's improved since last week.
I think the vignette backstage came off a lot better than the in-ring long version.
Yeah, it's just very rehearsed.
I just don't love it.
Well, nonetheless, they destroy the Cajun Asian man and his partner real quick.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that Asian dude can work. Man.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Homeboy can take a
Bumping, like-
bump.
I want to know who that guy's name is. I'm sure he's working quite consistently wherever he's living because he's pretty athletic and he made the Ascension look pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Ascension, they're just running down tag teams that Dale and I could compete against. So it's lots going on for them, which is cool. Moving back to Dean and the doctor. Now Dean's the therapist. The doctor is crying on the couch. He coerces the doctor to sign those Royal Rumble papers, and then Dean Ambrose is now going to the Rumble, and he said, by the way, it is weird that you sit down to pee.
I liked this segment. I think it could have come off cheesy, but Ambrose did it so well, and even the doctor was
I'll give him
kinda
credit.
like-
The doctor was good.
Yeah.
He wasn't Shelby, but he was pretty good.
Yeah.
He was
I wish
better.
the crying had been a little more convincing. I wanted some tears.
Well, at least he was better than Daniel Bryan's physical therapist. Let's just say that.
Ooh, I forgot about that chick.
And better than Kane's boss at the concession stand.
Oh,
Can we go back to Daniel Bryan's physical therapist? So,
So what happened?
well, Daniel Bryan
Oh, no.
came on to me, and
Oh, this is
it
so
was
uncomfortable. Yeah, what happened next? You're on the couch. It's okay. You're in a safe place.
wow.
What happened with Daniel Bryan when you were giving him physical therapy?
Got really physical.
Oh, no. How physical was it? Did he give you the running knee? Or another kind of running thing?
Ew.
What? Shut up, Dale. let me be doctor. Just keep quiet.
You're ruining everything.
Yeah. You don't have to chime in, man. It's a private couch. But yeah, so Dean Ambrose, man, just, you know, what can you say? He's Dean Ambrose. He's great.
Awesome.
That's right. Moving on, Rusev and Lana in the ring. They thank the Authority for firing Ryback. And maybe he can get a job at Delhi or some other stupid place. And then Rusev takes the mic and talks about, Ryback's lucky because he would have threw him over the top rope in the Royal Rumble.
What?
Yeah.
I
And the people don't deserve him as U.S. champion.
love that she did a callback to Ryback's like personal speech that was kind of, that was kind of
Yeah.
his most touching moment that he's ever had, and she totally just wrecked it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Very, very just.
And for guys that got fired, I'm glad we're hearing about them a lot tonight.
Well, exactly. You know that. Actually, we didn't hear much about Rowan.
Well, we don't know a lot about Rowan. So.
No, we don't. Does he wear the sheep mask when he's fired? Who knows?
Who knows? We may never find out. Yeah.
That'd be great if he's back on the compound and Bray doesn't even know it, that he's just squatting there. Just using all the heat and the cable, all the utilities. All right. So Dean Ambrose comes out. Thought one of you guys would have picked me
I
up
was
on that
gonna
one.
let it
Guess not.
die.
Yeah, you did. You let it die. So Dean Ambrose comes out, and I was surprised by this match. Didn't see that one. No, especially after the therapy session. Dean's like, well, my time's done here. Time to wrestle.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Back to business.
Back to business. Rusev versus Dean Ambrose. Rusev just attacking that left knee of Ambrose. Dean almost gets a roll up at one point. Really beautiful elbow off the top rope, taking Rusev down.
A little Macho Man action there.
Sure was. And Rusev kept attacking that knee. The referee just called for the match, and then Rusev super kicks him. Flag drops. Victory.
I love storytelling in a match like this because it harkens back to his final big match with Wyatt that we saw a couple weeks ago. Final, maybe, I don't know. And the fact that he lost because of it, it even kind of is in Wyatt's benefit as well. You know what I mean? Like it still is painting that picture that they've been telling for the past few months, but Rusev just happened to be the brush, if you will.
Yeah. And taking out the knee completely. Dean Ambrose didn't want the match to be called. The ref called the match. I don't know. I mean, they're not setting up. No, they're not setting up anything for Ambrose. I think it's someone
I
else.
don't think so.
Someone else besides Ambrose could have done this, but
But it was good to have him in the ring.
yeah.
I think it's showing that despite the roadblocks that Stephanie might put in his way, he
won't. I don't know.
He doesn't give up?
Yeah.
Not even a damn-ambulance. I mean, a damn ambulance.
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 Man, I go to Dambulance. That's great,
Should be
man.
called the Wambulance.
That's a crying one. Boo.
Boo, boo.
That's it right there, dude.
That's the British version, I think.
So, I do think maybe this is one match we might get. Rusev Ryback at Royal Rumble for the U.S. title. What do you think?
I just can't figure out how they bring those guys back. But yeah, I would like to see that sooner than later. Because I don't think you would hang on to it. It doesn't. Again, I don't know if Ryback is a guy that would take away that undefeated streak that he's on. So
Someone needs to.
yeah, but is it
Eventually.
Ryback?
Why not?
I don't know. But either way, I don't think you hang on to it until Fastlane, the pay-per-view that has replaced Elimination Chamber. I feel like that's a long time to be talking about Ryback.
When is Fastlane going to be? After the Rumble?
Yeah, where Elimination Chamber used to be.
Okay, so it's that Rumble, Fastlane, Mania.
Yes.
Huh. You know what's else? We didn't see the IC champion tonight at all. No Barrett.
He
Just,
was actually in the lumberjack. He was one of the lumberjacks.
Yeah.
So we did see him.
So you got to believe he'll be featured on SmackDown.
You would hope.
That's
Yeah.
a good guess.
Think.
He's
don't know,
also in
man.
the Rumble, though. He's one of the guys that got announced for the Rumble.
Did I miss something?
Not tonight. I think they said it on SmackDown.
Okay, so they already have like what, a third of the people?
Yeah, like 10 people, yep.
Okay. Moving on to the final segment of the show. We got through this pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna finish possibly prior to
Possibly
an hour.
on time. Yeah.
Or on time.
Yeah.
Slow down.
Yeah. The authority hits the ring. For the contract signing, they bring out Seth Rollins, followed by John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Heyman says he put together a plan that Rollins carried out, and that plan was bad for John Cena, and that's good for Brock Lesnar. And what's good for Brock Lesnar is best for business.
That's a really good plan.
I wasn't done yet.
Oh.
Brock will conquer everything in front of him. And that's not just John Cena. That's going to be Seth Rollins, because a triple threat can be a double cross. He doesn't have to be pinned to lose that title. And that's not good for Brock Lesnar. And that might not be best for business.
I loved that promo, actually. And again, the way that Seth is coming off, I feel like it's so strong.
Well, you forgot about the most
I
important
wasn't
part.
finished yet.
Let him talk.
It's done.
I feel like Seth Rollins looks strong. The finish to this whole signing, contract signings are always a bit of a like, I hope this is
We're
good.
like, oh yeah, contract signing.
Yay!
Yeah.
But this was an awesome contract signing. I really liked it. I mean, to have Lesnar go through the table and then to have Rollins curb stomp both guys and just looked awesome.
It gets you excited for
really
what's to
does.
come. Yeah.
Speaking of awesome, shout out to AJ0314. Just tweeted us this picture, which is pretty awesome that he managed to put this together.
I want to see.
It's Dean Ambrose approves. He's watching us right now.
Oh, thanks, Dean.
Gave us a big
You could
thumbs
just
up.
put us on a TV, like one of the times that he was watching a movie backstage. Wasn't he doing that?
Yeah.
I think it was something.
Oh, yeah.
But this is probably my favorite meme.
What am I doing in that photo? Oh,
You're
that's
hoeing. You're
I
hoeing
see,
it
I
up.
see.
And I am just throwing my arms wildly with no bodily
It's
control.
another Monday for you.
Just another Monday. Yeah, this contract signing had a lot to it, because I was also wondering too. I'm like, oh no, like this. I don't know what's. Once Cena took the mic, and I was like, all right, I don't really see anything happening here. Anyway, we'll get to that. Brock's gonna conquer everything in front of him. A triple threat. Blah 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 blah. Seth Rollins said it doesn't matter because he's gonna be walking out the Royal Rumble winner. Well, not the winner of the Rumble. He's going to walk out champion at the Rumble, signs the contract. Lesnar takes the mic. He conquers
Which always
everything.
makes me nervous.
Tonight,
Pretty God.
homeboy did it. He says, I'm going to conquer him. I already conquered him, Triple H. I already conquered him, John Cena. And I'm going to conquer you and everybody else. Basically, Cena takes the mic and says, everyone's going to kick each other's asses at the Rumble. He signs it. Lesnar signs it. And then what happens first? Rollins goes
He swings at
Cena for the briefcase.
Yes, with the briefcase, yeah.
Yep. And then next thing you know, Cena fights back. Lesnar Germans Cena. Then Germans Rollins.
Who went inside out on that German,
Ugh. Yeah.
which scared me.
Oh, Rollins can fly. Then Cena with the AA to Lesnar through the table.
So good.
Followed by a distraction from Triple H, curb stomp to Cena, and then, by God, a curb stomp to Brock Lesnar. They were beautiful.
And he ate it. He ate carpet on that curb stomp.
He sure did.
Rollins has to use his briefcase soon, right?
Well, he has till like June or something,
Really?
whenever Money in the Bank is.
Oh, yeah. He's got plenty. No, he hasn't had it for that long, has he?
He's had it.
Whenever the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is, I forget, June, July?
Either way, he's got plenty of time.
Okay.
But, man, those are some beautiful curb stomps, though.
There was a cool article on WWE.com that was like the 10 top things we want to see happen in 2015 in WWE, and Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania was pretty high on the list.
Well, I mean, there's always a threat to... I mean, it's a possibility that could happen at the Rumble, too.
I think you phrased it so excellently that I have plan A, and I also have plan B.
Yep.
Either way, I'm taking that thing.
Bam.
I like it.
I'm pumped for the Rumble, man.
Me too.
I mean, I am always pumped for the Rumble, but
always good, but yeah.
I think there's enough. Yeah, granted, we don't know what matches are happening, but there's a lot to work with here.
And I think last year it seemed pretty obvious that Batista was going to come back and win. And I feel like this year, and other years too, Cena returning, everybody returning, I always feel like you kind of know. But there's so many people who were on the up and up of the newer guys and a lot of the guys that came back just recently that it could be almost anybody's game.
And meanwhile, there's somewhere in the grass, there's a Viper.
Mm-hmm. Out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
It'd be nice if he returned inside the Rumble.
Yeah.
As opposed to prior to.
Yeah. Since we're getting Bryan on SmackDown and, you know.
Well, with the network, they have more of an opportunity to do that because it's not like they're going for pay-per-view buys, so like they don't have to show Randy until the Rumble. It could be a legit surprise.
Yeah.
And then what about, we haven't seen Sheamus in forever.
Oh, yeah.
But he returned last year at the Rumble.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know. He might be really hurt. I'm not sure what's going on with
He
Sheamus.
was, he had a surgery or something.
Bo still injured?
I don't know. It's we could have a whole lot of returns at the Rumble.
Yeah.
But,
We'll see.
yeah. Overall thoughts on this Raw, Cathy?
Transitional.
Good word.
Are we doing it in one word? Because that was mine.
It's a pretty good word.
I liked it better than last week. I think there was some good building happening here, and that contract signing was pretty on target.
Kudos to Lesnar.
Yep.
Taking the table
Table and a curb stomp?
and a curb stomp.
They say he doesn't want to sell to anybody, but
Yeah. He'd be selling tonight.
showing off.
So I think a lot has to happen in the next 13 days to set things up as far as the rest of the pay-per-view.
I mean, we're 2 weeks out. We're already excited. I think that's a lot more than we can say for pay-per-views past, where it seems thrown together at the last minute. This one has a good setup. And
does.
yeah.
And as far as WrestleMania goes, we're all going to be there, and I know a lot of our listeners and viewers are going to be there. And we may be doing some kind of gathering. Might as well get it out of the way early.
Like
just a heads up.
Magic?
Yeah, we're going to play Magic the Gathering.
Good reference.
Exactly. It's going to be amazing. We're going to just do it by candlelight. Candlelight.
And iPhone light.
Yep, we're going to play Enya the whole time. It's going to be very soothing, so we can really just take in the ambiance of WrestleMania weekend in Sacramento. San Jose. Where the hell are we? Sacramento.
Jose.
San Jose.
California.
Same city, different cities.
NorCal.
Close enough. Yeah. So we're going to be doing something, whether it's a gathering or some kind of comedy show. I know we're trying to set something up, but heads up, guys, if you're going to be out there, let's all get together. So there you go.
Yep, that was just vague enough to say nothing.
Which happens a lot during a 3-hour Raw. So apparently I'm learning something.
Nice going, buddy.
All right, Dale, put yourself over.
I am The Walking Dale on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find me on Nerdist.com at the Wrestling Compadres Slamcast every Wednesday.
Are we going to make that announcement yet?
Oh, yeah. This week's guest is awesome.
Guess who our guest... First off, last week we had Ken Anderson, who was one of the greatest interviews of all time. Dale.
Hilarious.
Who did you interview on Friday that's going to be on our show this
Big
week?
deal.
Oh, just a lady called Stephanie McMahon.
Who never does podcasts.
Not that I know
I
of.
don't even know the last podcast she did. And you got a half hour with her?
Oh, yeah.
Over the phone.
It is some good stuff, so check it out this Wednesday, Nerdist.com.
At Wrestling Buds, follow it immediately, Cathy Kelley.
You can find me on Twitter at Catherine Kelley, and you can find me on Instagram at Cathy Kelley.
Of course, and yes, at Wrestling Buds, at Jay Quasto, and go to patreon.com/United Wrestling. You can get everything Championship Wrestling does for a very, very low price, and that way you could find one more company to like. We got a lot of good stuff there. footage from the past years of major stars now, like Cena and Daniel Bryan, that you've never seen before. Really, really cool. So do that.
You can't see them.
That's right. Otherwise, thank you thanks for watching live. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Thanks for listening on iTunes. We love you guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.